Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny, which no one can deny.
So my wife got the Walmart order today, and 'tis the season for the Little Debbie's Christmas tree cakes. Oh, and she ordered a box. I get so excited when they come.
Is that the true sign that Christmas is coming?
Christmas has officially begun. Never mind that our tree has been up for 3 weeks.
You're not going to believe this, but I seriously don't know what those are. Little Debbie.
What?
I'm all about Little Debbie. I don't know the Christmas tree cakes.
They make
like-
little
what are they?
Christmas tree
It's
cakes
like
around
peanut
the
butter
holidays.
cups. It's like peanut butter cups for the holidays. You got to make them in all different shapes.
Yeah, but Bill, remember, I don't think you knew what zebra cakes were either. And then you
No,
tried the
that's a
zebra
good
cake.
point. I never did.
So
no.
they're exactly like a zebra cake, except they're in the shape of a Christmas tree with little sprinkles on them. Oh, I
Look for these.
highly recommend. In fact, I even now like the ads on Facebook. There's like you can make the Little Debbie's Christmas tree like cheesecake. Like I'm like, okay, I want to make that.
Listen to me, phone that's off. Little Debbie's Christmas tree cake. I'm going to see it like a million times now on every social media thing.
Even though it's off, it's still 100.
He's going to see it on
Percent pick that
Grinder. He's going to see it on.
Oh,
Hope
Wait,
so.
wait, Grinder?
That's going to get a swipe, in the correct direction. I have no idea which direction. to swipe it.
the correct direction.
So thanks for everybody watching us on the YouTube Friends and Rivals and not on Twitch. So you know what? I'm not even giving Twitch a plug this
Yeah,
week because we are banned from Twitch.
that's how
this week.
rebellious
Thanks,
we
Bill.
are. Banned
Thanks,
from Twitch,
Bill.
baby.
My love of boobs always getting me into trouble.
But we are streaming on my Facebook channel. So maybe, just maybe, that'll give us a view. Nope, not even one. Excellent.
All right. Oh, that's good. That's
Taking
good.
over the world, baby.
That's good.
Listen, Steve, I got a big shout out to our buddy Steve Wojtowicz. He crushed it on the sound bites this week. So that was from Family Feud, Bill, if you didn't know that. But look, there is just an absolute shit ton of stories going on in the NHL this week. And I think it all started with McDavid hitting 1,000 points
1,000.
this week, which was a huge milestone for him.
He did that in 1 week.
Yeah,
a
he
week.
did it in 1 week to begin the week for points in a career. He is now fourth all-time quickest player to reach the 1,000-point total. Did you think we'd kind of ever get back there? I mean, we've been watching hockey. I mean, Bill's been watching it since the 50s. But after like the late 90s, 2000s, did you ever think we'd get back to this type of offense in the game?
No, I thought
I didn't either.
goaltending had just come too far for that to be possible. Now, are we back? Would you say we're back there, or would you just say this guy is a freak of nature?
I think it's a freak of nature. But
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of freaks of nature currently. We have, McDavid, who just surpassed the 1,000-point plateau. We have Ovechkin, who's 39 goals away now from Gretzky's goal record. You have Crosby, who's 3 goals away from the 600 mark. So I think there's 3 freaks of nature. What one? What
One goal away from
he's now.
600
He. Yes, I'm sorry. He is 1 goal away from the 600 mark. So I think there's 3 freaks of nature. I don't know if I'm going to put Malkin in their category yet, but he's close. It's real close, whether he's on that level or not. But I think those are the three guys in the NHL right now, career history, whatever, that they could have played in any era and no problems. They would have had no problems doing what they're doing in this NHL and what they could. I mean, but if they played in the 80s,
Well,
man,
definitely Crosby and McDavid would have been tearing it
I
up. I
agree.
mean,
yes,
they're just physically they're just they have all the tools, and that's like Gretzky. Gretzky had all the tools. You could put those guys in Gretzky's shoes, and they'd probably be similar, numbers and dominance. You don't think so?
You don't wear shoes on the ice, Nick.
Well, listen, when you're Devils,
wait,
you wear clown
you have
shoes
the duck?
now,
Where's
so
the
I'll
duck?
tell you.
Where? I just gave you all these props for these audio things. You couldn't play the duck right there. How much? Because you see someone like Gordie Howe, who was just a physical specimen down there, who could score goals. You look at Ovechkin, you see a little bit of that same thing. A big giant physical specimen, scores goals, really plays the game well. How much do you think equipment has to play in everything? I mean, take it not from a goalie's perspective, right? Because the pads were really small back then, and they didn't have a face mask, which was insane to even think about. But the sticks, the curvatures of the sticks, the blades, just everything that just kind of seems like it makes them go faster.
I think
it's really hard to make that determination too. So
the weight of
I
the
take
skate,
it with a grain of salt. Yeah, everything. I mean, the blades back then and the chassis connected even to the boot were astronomically different. So, do you think if you were to put Gordie Howe in today's equipment, it would catapult him even further? I mean, you can say the same thing about Gretzky too. Wood sticks versus composite sticks.
No,
Well,
I don't buy into the equipment thing because everybody's playing with the state of the art equipment of their era. So
right.
So it all evens out as far as that goes. So if you want to bring Gretzky into this era and the equipment's, him just being him is what's going to make the difference. It's not going to be the equipment advantage because everybody else has the same equipment.
The current athlete is a better trained athlete. He has been bred to be a better. No, I just think these guys.
If we weren't already banned from Twitch, oh Christ!
These guys don't stop. These guys don't have an off season.
Yeah,
they might take a week vacation, and that's it. And they're right back doing their off season programming. They're on the ice all year round now. I think back in the day, those guys took at least 6 weeks off.
They took a job at a used car lot to make ends meet during the off season. Those guys were working.
Yeah, and you think about back when Babe Ruth was playing baseball, right? He was smoking, eating hot dogs, drinking beers in the freaking in the dugout between innings. That could never fly in this day and age. Other than didn't Aaron Rodgers eat a hot dog? Didn't Aaron Rodgers eat a hot dog on the sideline in one game?
No, he ate one of his boogers.
Would instantly be one of the most popular players in sports if there was somebody who was smoking and eating hot dogs in the dugout during a game. He would.
Well, they don't have a dugout in the NHL.
Well, you mentioned Babe Ruth. We were talking about baseball.
Well, listen. As long as you can take it, you can dish it out.
There's no dugout. There's no shoes. This is horrible. This sport's horrible.
Yeah. Brutal.
I just never, from all the talk and all the correlations between players, who's the GOAT, who's not the GOAT, would this player be good in this era? No one ever talks about the equipment that was in the era back in the day, or that's what era means, right? Versus what it is right now. And equipment is by far more superior than it was, hell, even in the mid 90s. Even, I take it to when we first started playing roller hockey, and I had an okay slap shot at best with a wood stick. As soon as I bought the composite and the Easton Synergy stick, my shot went through the freaking roof. and got exponentially better. So I think there's something to do with the equipment. I think there is. I don't know what it is, but I think there's something to it.
Well, I mean,
didn't
the
know if
equipment
anybody
definitely
ever made
changes
that
the
correlation.
game.
Yeah.
Definitely changes the way the game's played, and then so it, different styles of play. It kind of caters to different styles of play too. So, but hockey players, if you're going to take them out of an era and give them equipment, you're also going to have the advantages of all the up, the modern day training. To Steve's point, like they're going to be like on the ice nonstop. I mean, that's going to change them too. But the great players, I think, still would rise to the top of whatever era they're in.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think it goes to the point about the three guys we mentioned: Ovechkin, McDavid, Crosby. I think they'd be good in just about any era you put them in, which makes
No
them
doubt.
the
100%.
greatest of our generation. And I don't even think it's a conversation.
No,
It's not a. I mean,
100%.
you got guys like Matthews is still maybe not quite been around long enough to put himself up there. Like there could be guys out there, but we don't. Yeah, I would agree.
But
It's really
but would
those
you?
three at this point.
Do you put McDavid into the conversation with Crosby and Ovechkin? I mean, there's a separation of what, almost a decade between when they were drafted. So if you take McDavid away from Crosby, Ovechkin, who is the Ovechkin? Who's the Crosby? Who is the partner in crime of McDavid in his era? Because it's different than the Bedard and all these young kids that are just entering the NHL now. Who's McDavid's Robin, if you will?
I mean, Austin Matthews is 27, right? He's got 660 points in 575 games. So definitely not on not on the McDavid level.
No,
but more than better than a point a game.
Where's
And
Draisaitl?
he's the goal scorer.
So, but
yes,
that's good. But think of it this way: like McDavid, all right, points per game, average over career. Gretzky, Lemieux, 1 and 2. Number 3.
Bossy.
Any guesses?
Mike Bossy.
He's number 4.
Damn it.
Mr. McDavid is number 3.
Mm.
Yeah.
He is
Okay.
in elite company.
Yes.
So perspective here, let's say it's Gretzky's at 1.921 points per game, Lemieux at 1.883. Those two guys are like, we know, they were 1 and 2, unquestionable. The next guy up is now McDavid at 1.52. So I mean, he's pretty. The third guy over 1.5. Bossy was 1.497. He was right under, and his back injuries are the reasons pretty much why he dropped off and got on there. And it's Dion, Stastny, Crosby at number 8 at 1.25, tie with Peter Forsberg, and Kent Nilsson will round out the top 10. But the next guy that's even close is Kucherov. Guy you guys didn't mention, 1.213 points per game in his average. And then you have Draisaitl at 16, 1.186, Panarin, 1.17, McKinnon and Matthews at 20 and 21 at 1.15 to 1.148. So these guys are all like we're in a huge resurgence of offense, I think, is the main point. And the reason I say is you have McDavid, Crosby, Kucherov, Draisaitl, Panarin, McKinnon, Matthews, Malkin. That's 8 guys in the top 24 all-time points per game average in their career. I mean, Mitch Marner is at 27. So, I mean, like, we're really close. Ovechkin's 35. Ovechkin's been around a long time, and he has a lot of goals, but he doesn't have a lot of assists, which is kind of what drags him down. So, it's a big resurgence, in my opinion. Just the game has changed. It's much more offensive than when we watched it in the early 2000s, and that was just the end of the 90s. It was just dead puck era for sure.
Clutching, grabbing, hooking, holding.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but the major thing is the skating and the skill level of these kids. They're so much better than we were when we were watching.
What we were watching, yes.
You're not much better than us.
Oh my God. So, and I say that, I think I said that mentally because when I was playing, like, at a high level, my highest level, so not really that high level, but playing, and then getting just completely outclassed by kids, 5, 6 years younger than you, and in your 20, early, like mid-20s, and then some 17-year-olds come on, and this and just, you just question why you're even on the rink with them. But anyway, the point is the skill level's gotten so much better everywhere, and it's obvious to see on the professional level. And Crosby, McDavid, Kucherov is really the third guy, and he's easily forgotten because he's not the most liked guy, and he's a Russian, number of things. But hey, he's won the cup a couple times, and every fucking year that guy is just right there scoring points, man. I mean, I think he's sneaky. So he's really the number 3 in just numbers alone. But we'll see.
But I think in the end, I'll make a prediction. It's not going out on a limb either. I think McDavid has an opportunity to do what very few, if any, NHL players have done. That's hit the 2,000 point plateau. I think he could. He has the best shot of anybody I've ever seen to break that. Listen, you have Crosby approaching the 600 goals. Once you hit that 600 goal plateau, it puts you in another stratosphere. There should be another wing in the Hall of Fame dedicated to these guys. And we have 2 that we saw in their generation with Crosby and Ovechkin now. Obviously, Ovechkin, 29 goals away from breaking the record. And even when we had the discussion last year, I was always a little bit skeptical about Ovechkin breaking the record just because his body language the past couple of seasons hasn't been great. You see pictures of him in the offseason. I mean, he looks like freaking Babe Ruth with some pictures that you see of him in the offseason. So he's not training as hard as it used to be, but the guy still goes out there and just does what he does best. That's put the fucking puck in the net. And, everybody is, bananas, after he scored his hat trick against the Vegas Golden Knights, and 29 goals. He has the potential to do that this year. He's already at 16 goals in this young season. Man, I was very skeptical of if he was going to do that, just because I didn't think he was going to stay healthy enough. But man, I love being proven wrong. Being proven wrong.
Tied for first with 13 goals alongside Sam Reinhart.
13.
Leon Draisaitl and Ovechkin himself right there.
I mean, every show, Nick, you should be every stat that we throw out, you should be just like stat boying us, like you bunch of fucking idiots.
Try.
Yeah, good. You should continue to do that.
That was our reality.
What, did I just spew nonsense?
You just said, keep doing what you're doing.
And look, there was another thing that was out there by who was that? BR Sports or Bleacher Report, who put out the not B. Arthur, who put out the Mount Rushmore of teams forward since 1990s, and you guys had mentioned it to me that this was 100% clickbait, but I was all in. I could not fucking help myself.
This is right.
I couldn't help 300 pages.
No, I didn't. I looked at the first couple and I was like, oh my God in heaven. So next week I going to give you guys homework. We're doing we're doing 2 versions of this. Our own Mount Rushmore since 1990 forwards to compare to the stupid list. Even as stupid as it is, I don't think it's very far off from our teams, to be honest with you. And then I want to do your history Mount Rushmore for your team.
So, like, what was the first one since 1990?
Yeah, since 1990. That's what the article had. So I'm really curious to see how close you were. If you don't go back in the article and look, just come up with your own and let me see how close you are.
I mean, mine's not going to change that much.
Yeah,
I tend to agree.
We might want to change
I tend to agree.
Second one to, like, maybe I was thinking most influential players instead of the all-time, because I think it's gonna be the same for all of us. Maybe Tom might have different, but
no. Well, yours is going to be different. The last 30 years versus the franchise history.
I mean,
is going to be
80s
two
are different. 80s are foreign players than the rest.
Yeah.
The rest of the time for the Isles. How much? If it's different for you guys, then yeah, let's do that.
Well, Steve can go back to the Kansas City Scouts. That's fine.
Well,
God, it's not going to change
Or the
anything.
Flames. Or the
It's not going to
Flames.
change
You
anything.
could put Zarly Zalapsky up there if you wanted to. Oh wait, different Flames.
Yeah,
Sorry.
different. Yeah.
But could not help myself. On some of them though, it was, I mean, it's just very obvious who they are. But I don't know. I couldn't help myself. Couldn't help myself.
Maybe need to do another presentation.
oh boy.
Oh God, no. You don't have to do a presentation. If you want to do a presentation, you can certainly do one. I have no problems with that whatsoever. If you want,
We won't
to.
see Sidney Crosby's boobs. Relax. You just relax, Twitch.
We know you have pictures of them too, by the way. All right, let's take a ride on the Metro. All right, we're gonna start this week with the Penguins.
Oh, am I really going first this time?
Yes, you're really. I looked at
Ugh.
the standings. Yes, I looked at the
We're gonna
updated
talk
standings
Penguins.
tonight.
We're gonna talk Penguins. I need my custom brew. I need to prep for this.
Are we allowed to drink on a live stream?
Why not?
Sure.
We're gonna get
Oh,
banned
this
on
is-
multiple
This
ones
is
now.
America. What are you talking about?
I'm
It's just the
I'm
bottle.
asking
It's
the
really
question.
apple juice.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Okay.
Bill took a test one before the show too. So
I think you should have to do one of those every minute.
now
This is excellent, by the way. I'm very surprised. I'm very
What is
surprised
it?
because this is a Letterkenny brand, the Gus and Brew, and
Nice.
it was it's like $60 a bottle, right? But I got a special, I got like
marketing.
60% off. So I got like a case, and so I got like 6 of them for like just over $30 a bottle, right?
Nice.
But I'm thinking, okay, they're bringing the price down. It's gonna suck. Also, it's a screw top, which isn't promising. Dude, it's really good. It's
Yeah.
actually really good. Very smooth.
I just spent
Very-
$180 on alcohol, and he didn't
Yeah,
even
that's
know.
gonna
if he
last
was
me
go-
until the end of the
He
year.
did, but you didn't even know if you were going to like it. Like, what if it was utter shit?
Because you have to keep shitty whiskey around if you're a whiskey drinker. Like you got to
Yeah.
keep some of the cheap shitty ones around. Because like if you want to get loaded, you don't do it with the good stuff. You don't like that's your
Bill
sipping
gets
whiskey.
it.
That's your enjoying whiskey.
Bill
If you want to get
gets-
loaded, you
Oh my
you knock back a couple of the cheap ones first, and then you
Yeah.
sip. So anyway, I had to talk about the Penguins.
Fair enough.
Tristan Jarry is back. Hooray! And he played against well, that shot's starting to hit me. Who do they play? Oh, the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Columbus Blue Jackets. Who and the Blue Jackets went into that game this past weekend on a 6-game losing streak, and they hammered Jarry and the Penguins. They won 6-2. Jarry gave up 5 goals on 38 shots. But the good news is that it improved his goals against average and his save percentage. So way to go, Tristan. It's very ugly for the Penguins now at this point. Then they played the Sharks the following game, and Nedeljkovic was back in. The Penguins went up 3-0 in that game. And guess what? They blew the 3-0 lead. Do you even believe it? And that game went into overtime and eventually in the shootout, and the Penguins actually managed to win in like round 5 of the shootout. So hip hip hooray! The Penguins are back, baby. It's just stupid to watch at this point, honestly. So the Penguins have played 20 games. They've got 7 wins. They've been up multiple goals in 12 of those games, 12 different games, and they have 7 wins. 9 of those games they completely blew until it was tied or they were behind. And then out of those 9 games, they actually ended up winning like 4 of them and losing 5 of them. It's just every stat is ugly as hell. The good news is for the last game against San Jose, they benched Ryan Graves. So there's our next example of the guy that's going to be out. They, in favor of him, they brought in Owen Pickering, the 2022 first round pick, to play his first NHL game. He played a solid game. One game, a little too early to tell if he's going to stick or not, going to be great or good or anything in between. But played a solid game. So I'd rather, if Graves is just going to be a freaking pylon anyway. Why not have a rookie there, who might gain some experience out of it and might gain some knowledge and be a better player for it. So Graves is terrible. Carlson's still terrible. Letang's still terrible, but Letang was out because of an illness. He's day-to-day. He could miss maybe a couple of games. Not that really bad of a thing for the Penguins. And then also making his Penguins debut against the Sharks was what's that guy's name? The guy in the trade with for Gensel. One of the guys they got from Carolina, Vaseline Palmolive, I think is his name.
I'm sure that's not how you say his name.
I doubt that.
That's right. That's so good.
Terrible pronunciation.
Vasily Pomerev.
Pomegranate. Come on.
Seeing some Penguins, some younger guys, a younger lineup, against San Jose was nice, even though it was the same result, a 3-0 lead that evaporated. So more of the same old shit with different people. But at this point, I'll take the different people. I don't want to see Graves out there. I don't want to see Carlson out there. Ship him where you can, when you can, and we'll move on. And the Penguins will, get a top 5 lottery pick this season. So that's what's going on in Pittsburgh.
Very, very close to a top 5 pick. I don't think you're going to get top 5, but we'll see.
We're going to
we'll see.
They're going to start dismantling what they have.
Yeah, but how much? I mean, you're not really. I don't think you're going to trade anybody else probably till the deadline. I can't see you trading anybody else
if they can't move anybody. Yeah.
But I mean, who are your pieces at the deadline that you're going to move now that Eller is gone?
Carlson, if anybody wants to take him, Penguins elite contract.
To touch him. Yeah, but I get that.
Penguins elite contract. So Carlson, Graves, for sure. Gretzky, Dick, whatever. What's that guy's name? The other defenseman that they have from Boston. They can move him. Brian Rust. Brian Rust is one that could actually catch something in return. He's a.
I would agree. But do they want to move? Do they want to move him?
They'll move him. Yeah, he's not. Yeah. The only guys you even got to question, the only veterans you even have to question are the holy trio of Malkin, Crosby, and Letang, who you kind of need their buy-in to move him. Rust maybe too. He might have a no trade clause, but I don't see why he would be so attached that. I don't think Russ wants to spend the rest of his career. He's old, but he's not as old as those guys. And I don't see why he would want to just waste away in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, Nick, Islanders.
Come on. Where's the deck?
You didn't send me anything.
I sent it to you. Oh man. We are every week. Every week it's the same.
Stop whining.
You want to pull up my deck?
Send it? Where did you send it?
You get
you.
nothing. You lose.
I shared it with you.
Good
I don't
day,
know how many other
sir.
times. How many ways do I have to give it to you?
Well, one would definitely be email. That would be a great way to do it.
Okay. Well, let's see. I wish I could share my screen now, but
Steve, do you have it?
No, I shared with you, Thomas.
I don't have it.
Let me go by sent emails.
Which email address did you send it to? What is
only
the
one I
actual address? Go ahead and say it.
Yahoo.
My Yahoo account.
Just
Is there
Yahoo.
another email?
I just sent it out to Yahoo.
Am I sending
Yeah, I have,
everything to the wrong
I have
email?
Gmail, I have iCloud, but I don't.
He sent
have
it. He sent it to Yahoo at yahoo.com. You didn't get
Dox him.
Mother
Go ahead,
of
dox him.
God.
Give the full name.
What is your? I don't think I even have an email from Gmail for you. I have only sent shit to your Yahoo.
It's the same lead-in.
Okay. At
Wait,
Gmail.
did it go in my?
This one's.
It went in my
I like this dude.
junk
This is
mail.
sexy.
It went in my junk.
Look at this.
This
Look at
is
this.
not junk.
Everybody, listeners, see, he junks all of my shit.
No, not all of it.
Planes.
Not all of it.
One more
Most
time,
of it.
Steve.
Not all of it.
Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you.
Google Docs. Got it. Dunsky.
Oh, man.
I'm
I
not gonna
spent
say
time
this.
on this one. This is why it's important. Come on.
Did you really? Oh man,
I fucking did.
I almost
Every
feel
week
sick.
I spend time. Just for the listeners, I spend time on it every week. But this week I
He
spent
does.
extra time.
He does.
Extra time. I did get home a little early, get dinner made, clean up, get everything ready. And now I had like an extra hour to do some additional graphics.
You
Already.
did graphics?
Well,
Now I
additional
can't wait. Now I can't wait to see
Well, let's
this.
go. Load them the cup.
It's processing. I have no control over this.
Type 45.
Stop whining.
Ice 45 on Twitch.
It's still processing.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Wasn't this a commercial? Still downloading.
Can you hear me now?
I
Still
Can you hear
downloading.
me now?
Ding ding ding.
Hey, we're there.
Oh, yay.
All right. This week on the island, what do we got here? Well, let's just put it this way, guys. We are straight up in the middle of everything. We got a win this week. We got a loss. We got an overtime game. 3 out of 6 points, just straight down the middle. First game this week against the Oilers. This is the start of our 5-game road trip. The Oilers dominate the Isles in this game. Isles come back in dramatic fashion in the third period. Andersley gets 2 goals in 2 shifts, just putting the team on his back, only to lose in overtime to McDavid Oilers. Luckily, McDavid only gets 9.999 in his career against the Islanders. Thank God it wasn't an additional stat in his 1,000-point career in the only the 5th fastest guy to do it or whatever nonsense it is for him. Super happy it didn't happen. However, we then go up to Vancouver and then just absolutely decimate Vancouver. I don't know what's in the water right now in Vancouver, if they're just playing like dog shit or if the Islanders just were unbelievably good. That I don't know what it was. It was bizarro. The Canucks, to put this in perspective, had 6 shots through 2 periods. And then it seemed like they might have a similar set of shots in the third, but the Isles were able to, become the Islanders in their period and start to let the Vancouver to back into it. But they were able to hold the lead and only allow 1 goal in the third period. Tyler Myers shot late in the third period, and it was with a minute and a half to go. Really, the game was over. It was 5-1 at that point. End score is 5-2. But it was an absolute. It wasn't even funny. Like, I haven't seen the Isles be that dominant in a game in quite some time. Usually, it's the other way around, where we get like 5 shots in the period or 2 shots in a period, something stupid. But to have 2 back-to-back periods where the Isles just completely dominated the Canucks, and also getting to see one of the Hughes brothers get absolutely demolished on a reverse check in his own zone by Sippy was absolutely awesome to watch. Just an absolute demolishing. Made me happy. Very happy to watch this game. Very, very happy. Only to then go right back to kind of like the in-between here. So you have the low, well, let's start low, the high, and then right back into the middle. Last game against Seattle 2 nights ago, third game of our road trip. Isles just, up and down game. They could have gotten the full 3 points, but you're 3 points. I'm thinking soccer here. 2 points. The just third period collapse of in the last few minutes of the game. Another last goal in the last 5 minutes of the game just kills it. Couple interesting things. That last goal was reviewed. It was one of those plays where goalie gets touched by player in the like right before the shot happens. But honestly, it didn't matter. It was I think it was fine. I don't think there should have been a called off or anything like that. Either way, middle middle of the pack. With that said, Pierre fucking Engvall just coming out of nowhere this week. 2 goals in the last 2 games. He might score, another 60 goals at this pace. He's playing really fucking good. Maybe he'll just keep going. Who knows?
Just every game, 1 goal, put him down.
Every fucking game. When he remembers how to play hockey, he is a scary dude. He's 6'4", I don't know, 6'5", 7'2", I don't know what he is. He's fucking tall. He's fast as shit, but he forgets that he's actually a physical and tall. He plays a lot of times like he's Minnie Mouse, but he's actually like a goddamn giant. And if he just remembers that he can do that and put some like actual effort into his play, he could be worth that $3 million in over 7 years. I mean, it's possible. Very, very possible. Very happy that the last 2 games have worked out. We will see if it continues. Outside of that, just what else can be going good here? Listen, the worst thing is the Isles are 5 points back of the Rangers. I mean, could be a lot worse than this point of the season. I haven't been very positive, and it's only that bad. Half the team's on IR, so that's also a good thing. That hey, we're doing okay. We got a whole bunch of guys plugging holes, and potentially we could end this road trip above 500. We're right in the middle of it, so maybe 2 wins and just have a really successful road trip. Will be a really, really nice way to get us to Thanksgiving. So our next topic is injuries, man. We got a bunch of injuries to talk through. Romanov's still day to day, but he's skating. He's getting close. He might be there. He's really, we'll see how it goes. He's maybe this game, maybe next game. Hopefully sooner than later. Matt Barzal and Adam Pelech are both, some sort of upper body injury. They're all both week to week. There's no real, discussion on they haven't been skating yet. They have to get cleared by doctors. So we're still in the who knows what's going on there. Anthony Duclair, same deal, lower body injuries, groin most likely, based on the way his injury was. And we're still waiting to him. Mike Riley, the big news is this today, actually. I think it was today. I could be wrong because I was in Rehoboth for, a few days, and that's like a time warp. So who knows what the fuck was going on in the last few days. But Mike Riley had been out. Obviously, he had a nasty concussion last week. I think it was last week at this point. But what's been interesting was there was no talk on what was going on with Riley. And then today, Isles announced that he's actually because of the concussion he had, they did a bunch of tests on him, and they found out he actually has a pre-existing heart condition, and he's going to be out pretty much long term. They found it, thank God, and they're going to have an operation, and the type of operation, of course, not going to tell you what it is. It should be out a few months, but he should be back, which is who cares? Fucking unbelievable that they even found this before he had a real problem. So, I mean, good news, bad news? I don't know. It's he had a terrible concussion, but maybe not die. So that's awesome. So yeah, good things. All right, let's get out of this slide. Feeling bad already. All right. So let's go to the not so great news. Special teams just not great. Not great. Power play has been down. We're back right basically at the bottom of the barrel. I thought we were going an uphill swing, but just not doing well. Not surprising. Duclair and Barzal and Romanov and everybody's fucking out. It's just not great. The PK up slightly, not really much. Up 1 position. I think the Oilers missed 7,000 shots in that power play sequence. Probably, helps us out a little bit. But not great. We'll see how that looks in a few months if we can get finally back to a full squad. And lastly, the Isles are actually went down in attendance capacity. It's not great. Just kind of interesting footnote in this year is, when the team's not playing well, they're not filling the building. So that's all we got there. Last
You say they fell below.
Yeah.
They fell below the Buffalo fucking Sabres.
They're above the Sabres.
They're
If you
above.
read numbers correctly.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Steven.
Oh, okay. Well, I have
Yeah.
the slide counter is in my way.
Are you
because I have
looking?
to
Are you
advance
looking
your-
at it upside down?
I have to advance your stupid slides.
Good job.
By,
All
the,
right,
by the
last-
way, Bill is already beating you for slides of the week.
All right, whatever.
You have no chance.
That sounds great. So, all right, ending this week, we'll have the last two games of the road trip. Calgary tomorrow. Thursday we got the Detroit, and then we're back home this weekend with the Blues. So hopefully we end on a good note and get through this shithole of a month. I feel like last month ish with the Isles and the many injuries. Looking forward to a better December. We're getting there. We're hopefully not doing too much damage for ourselves. We're still in the 500 range, and it's not terrible. We can keep above 500. That'd be fucking excellent. But we'll see how it goes. And that's the house. Thank you, Steven.
All right, let's turn to your defending President's Trophy and Metro Division champion, New York Rangers. From my rant last week, you would have expected the Rangers to be playing like below 500 hockey.
So many people I heard from this week were so happy with how miserable you were.
Well, I'm not going to do what everyone thinks I'm going to do, but I'm here to say I fucking told you so. If you didn't think Corey Connor was going to score multiple goals against the Rangers last Tuesday, what are you even watching? Are you even paying attention this season? The one thing I was thinking about, and I would have been wrong on, was that Barclay Goodrow. I would have bet my mortgage that Barclay Goodrow would have scored at least one goal against the Rangers when they played the San Jose Sharks last Thursday. Sadly, he only hit the crossbar.
I suck.
Only hit the crossbar.
I suck.
I do. So, I mean, and you look at the standings, right? And the Rangers have played 16 games this season. There's
How many
other teams.
How many games?
Billy was talking about the Penguins playing 20 games. Steve, the Devils have played 21 fucking games. So the Rangers' schedule has been really, really good. Did I say 20? I said 20, right?
Yeah,
I said 20 for
20
Billy.
games, baby.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And the Rangers are typically the team who plays probably the most games played. I mean, I get it. They all play 82 games. Haha, very funny. But during the course of the season, they're typically in the upper echelons of teams in games played. But they're in the bottom two. Lightning and the Stars have played 16 games as well as the Rangers. So at last week, they were 9-3-1. Now they're up to 11-4-1. 23 points on the season, 719 winning percentage. So you're in that 700 winning percentage. You're having a pretty good season, and they're at that point right now. They played the Seattle Kraken last night and beat them 2-0 in a really kind of ho-hum beginning of that game in the second period. But the big news in that game was Jonathan Quick, and now he has back-to-back shutouts. For the first time since 2011, this time doing it as a backup. The first time he did it as a starter, obviously for the LA Kings in 2011, he did 3 straight shutouts. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he pulls out the third one. I don't expect him to. Exactly. But the backup goaltending, the starting goaltending, I don't think we could have asked for anything better than what we have gotten so far in the goaltending department. The biggest problem with the Rangers right now is the loss of young Filipino. And I think I went on a rant last year at some point about playing Filipino again in the NHL and being one hit away from ending his career. I hope we're not at that point yet, but can you move forward with Philip Hedl? This year, this time it was Keandre Miller. It was friendly fire. We saw this in the past with player with the concussion syndrome, with Pat LaFontaine when he got decked by Mike Keane of all players in 88 or 98 rather, and Eric Lindros with all his concussion problems. Ranger fans have seen this movie play out before, and it never ends well for the player who has concussion issues. The only player this has ever ended well for has been Sidney Crosby. It's the only player that has ended well who has gone through some sort of concussion problems. Maybe Mark Stahl too, if you want to call it that. But there's been only the exceptions and not the rule. So the Rangers built for, as Larry Brooks said on his podcast that they have for the New York Post, the Rangers are built with 3 offensive lines, and now they can't roll the 3 offensive lines, and possibly one of your best lines and most consistent lines all season with Hedl, Kakko, and Cooley. You're gonna play Johnny Brzezinski in there for the rest of the season and get by. This is now. Let's roll it back from last year. We're rolling back exactly the same script we rolled out from last year. So if there's any upcoming free agents, so let's look at the kind of the free agents that might be available on the market for the Rangers to get to play the third line center that potentially could be available. Because free agent centers next year, you're looking at Tavares, who is probably not going to come to the Rangers and fill that third line role at a hugely reduced salary. Nicholas Backstrom, who has his own issues with injury. The name that sticks out to me on this list that I wanted at last year's deadline was Yanni Gourde. And I think Yanni Gourde is potentially one of the only players that could be on this list other than maybe Gabe Vilardi, but you're not getting him from Winnipeg this year. And you're not getting Sam Bennett from the Florida Panthers. So Yanni Gourde could be the replacement for Philip Hedl. And, he's in the last year of his contract. He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of this year. May not re-sign with Seattle. It may be a good opportunity for the Rangers to get a player like that who's going to become an unrestricted free agent. But how long are you going to wait until you make the deal? How long are you going to wait for Philip Hedl to come back and potentially, go out again with another concussion? It's a chance, and it's a huge risk at this point. As much as I love Philip Hedl, and he's also at the point where he's got to worry about his health for the rest of his life. Nick was talking about, Mike Riley with the heart condition. Look at players like Henrik Lundqvist who left the game because of heart conditions, who wanted to really focus on their health. Philip Hedl is at that point where, man, in his 60s, is he even going to know who his kids, or his grandkids, or whoever who he's even married to? There's a point in which you have to disconnect yourself from hockey and think about your future. I think Philip Hedl, being 25, I think he's at that point right now where he's really has to think about his future. I understand he loves the game. That's great. You can still play it. Maybe not at the competitive level that you want to, but sadly, I don't know if I would ever play Philip Hedl again in my lineup. Just if he can't protect himself, the NHL might need to step in to protect him. And players who continually get concussed, to stop them from playing the game. It's sad.
Would you be adverse to the league instituting a policy that says if a player gets 5 grade 1 concussions in their career, that's it, they're done?
I mean, at this point, to protect them, I think we have to start. I think they have to start doing something.
Is there a number? Like, obviously, 1 is bad enough.
Well, I think that's just the thing, though. I mean, 1 could be the one that see up for good. I mean, so you don't know what the number, like everybody, until they, I don't know. I mean, until they know more about how to dig into these guys' brains and figure out exactly what's going on. Like, you don't know if it's 1 or if it's 2 or if it's 5 or if they can come back from 5, because everybody's different and deals with it differently and impacts people differently.
Look at Crosby. Like everybody thought he had a concussion problem, but it turned out he had a neck problem, and it was causing similar symptoms. I mean, what if you misdiagnose it? And it's really difficult to kind of like just say, "Hey,
No, I get you. I would agree with you, but when he came out on the ice last year in the playoffs and was in practice, and he went down and fainted in practice, I don't think it's a neck injury at that point. At that point, right? But I don't think Chytil's been misdiagnosed. And at this point in his career, if he took, I don't think it was that bad of a hit from Miller. It was accidental. They were both going for the puck, and it was almost like Chytil kind of got stood up, and Miller's elbow just kind of hit him in the jaw. It didn't look like it was that hard, but I was watching on TV. I don't know, but a hit like that, and to see him go down for the second year in a row, it's just what you got to step in and do something for the player.
Yeah, you got to, because it's not going to get better. You got to protect the player from himself.
Yeah,
because it's an ego thing for them as well. Like they don't want to hang it up at 25. So you got to somebody's got to step in.
And his goal for this year at the beginning of the year was to play all 82 games. And if he did that, it could have been, he could have changed a lot of people's minds about his health and about where he is in his career. And he was playing great when he was playing, man. I got to tell you, that third line was probably the best, most consistent line the Rangers put out night in and night out. But one hit is all it takes to kind of, make you go down and make you rethink what you're going to do for the rest of the year.
I'm just so tempted, but I don't want to be callous and heartless.
Be callous and heartless. Come on.
But I think Yanni Gourde is the player at this point. You offer up one of your.
They're very similar. Yeah, I mean, they're very similar type players.
100%.
Right? Yeah,
I think Gourde's going to give you a little bit more physical play. He's going to be a little bit more in your face. He adds to your penalty kill. So maybe Zibanejad doesn't have to play those extended minutes and work on the penalty kill. And he also, adds a little bit more depth to your lineup. But I don't know if he could be had. I know the Rangers were in talks with Seattle last year to get him, but that would be the guy that I had circled to fill that role. It's not going to be, Johnny Brodzinski for the rest of the year. And hey,
not going to be anytime soon, though. I really
but hey, Gabe Perreault, your spot just opened. As soon as you're done, come on in, come right in. But like the Islanders, the Rangers continue their Western Canada road trip, if you will. They started it obviously, in Seattle, which is in the U.S., but they are now heading to Vancouver, where they play the Canucks tomorrow night. Hopefully, they get a similar Canucks team to where the Islanders face. That would be fun. That would be wonderful.
Hopefully they're drinking the same water. Yeah,
possible.
That'd be great. Well, and they got Calgary on Thursday, Edmonton on Saturday night. I'm sure that will be a second game on Hockey Night in Canada before they return home next Monday night to play the St. Louis Blues. And the schedule is not their friend. This next 14 days.
Yeah.
They have every other night, and they end with a 3-4, and the last game of that 3-4 is at home against the Devils. So I was
looking at the schedule.
It's gonna be a test.
I was looking at the schedule, both their schedules, for the same reason as you were mentioning, just that the Rangers had only played, 16 games to the Devils 21 at this point. And yeah, it looks like by the middle of December, they'll catch up because of this stretch the Rangers got coming up.
Yeah, it's a tough stretch too. So we'll see how they do. So let's go, Steve. Devils.
The Devils played what I might consider is two of the best games I've ever seen them play in back-to-back games, both in Florida against the Panthers. A 4-1 win and a 6-2 win. The 4-1 win, it's so cliche, but the Panthers started the game like they were shot out of a cannon, right? And then there was a fight. Brendan Dillon fought Jonah Gadjevich on the Panthers. And Dillon didn't win. He didn't win the fight at all. Like, it was a great fight. If you haven't seen it, go find the clip on YouTube. It was a great fight. Dillon didn't win, but for some reason, that seemed to just energize the Devils. And from that point to the end of the next game, they played lights out. In the second game, they were 3 for 5 on the power play and 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. I don't know when their special teams have ever been that on point. Tom, did I upset him?
Wing, 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 wing.
You just
Wing,
can't
wing,
take,
pop, pop, pop.
you just
I gotta
can't
do
take
the-
positive Devils talk. Wow.
I gotta do the voiceover myself since you're talking right now and you can't control the sounds.
Jesper Bratt had what we'll call a Jesper Bratt trick. Even strength goal,
Shut
power
up!
play goal,
Shut up! Shut up!
shorthanded goal. Definitely playing the system well. And then they skated against the Lightning. And it was their last game before a 4 days off. Quite holy. They must have just been looking forward to the break too much. But at the quarter mark, 12-7-2 record, 4-3-2 at home. They really need to work on their game at home. They're 8-4 on the road. You're supposed to play better at home. You have the matchup, you have the crowd, but for whatever reason, this team just is not playing well at home. 3.6 goals for, 6th in the league, 2.6 goals against, 5th in the league, 30.5 power play percentage, which is 4th best in the league. I remember when 22 to 25% was a great power play. So to see them up over 30 is remarkable. 85.5% on the penalty kill and 0.911 save percentage, which puts them 9th in the league. So they're getting better than league average goaltending, which is all the fans have wanted. And we've seen the results in their standings. In November, for the month of November, it's all Hughes and Bratt. Hughes is up to 11 points on the month. Bratt's up to 15 points for the month, and they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. The main issue with this team right now is the fourth line. And I know it's weird to say that your fourth line is bringing the whole team down, but it's requiring the top 9 to play too many hard minutes when you've got a third line of just utter crap. So Curtis Lazar and Nathan Bastian, both on injured reserve now. They just brought up Bowers, Dowling, and Foote. I'm thinking just, sit McDermott, sit Tatar, just let those 3 guys go in there and see what they can do as a line. They've been playing down in Binghamton together. So let's see what they can go in and do as a line in the NHL. Upcoming this week, Thursday versus Carolina, Saturday at Washington, and then next Monday, while we're recording this very podcast, against the Nashville Predators.
Not an easy stretch of games, especially Carolina, Washington playing very well and kind of surrounding you in the standings. So good test.
Yes, for sure.
All right, let's go to the weekly WTF. And I don't even know where that thing
this is the wrong bell.
Are you able to bring up the presentation, or should I try to do it?
Oh,
I just
you
clicked
mean
on it.
we're gonna
Oh, there we go.
presentation that we're gonna get banned for?
Ban? Yes. Sorry. So no more. What did I call it before? The suggested nudity. We obviously never had nudity, but it was suggested, I suppose. I don't know. So no more boobs. I'm sorry. But okay, here we go. We've got the ones who've advanced to round 2 already. We've got Bonnie McMurray and Olivia Rodrigo and Jennifer Connelly, the winner last week. Yeah, I don't know. So there's our winners. There's our winners. Moving on.
Wait,
We remove those pictures. Can't do that
Did you have
anymore.
back to back the same slides? You had back to back the same slides. Were you drunk
did.
when you made this?
No,
I
they're not.
take it back.
They're not.
I got look. Oh, there it is.
Okay. So it's week 4, and
It's
it's
not
time
catching
for
up.
Okay, terrific.
week 4, and it's time for college gymnasts. So we've got Olivia Dunn, who is very famous, third in like all the NIL rankings. Like for she prints money. This girl, LSU gymnast. So third behind like Shadora Sanders, Deion Sanders' kid, and the other, and the Manning that's the backup quarterback at Texas because he's got famous uncles and father. So this one's self-made. Olivia Dunn, gymnast for LSU from New Jersey.
She's got the Wonder Woman outfit on.
That was Halloween. That was
Yeah,
Halloween, yeah.
that is that's something.
Quite an athlete.
Quite.
And then next up we have.
I
There is a
advanced
lag
it.
when we. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. We gotta figure out a way to clean this up.
It.
You guys host this on Netflix? Come on, what's going on?
Now we're back.
That's a good one.
Now we're backward.
Are we? I don't know. I'm not touching it. I think Steve was touching it. I mean the presentation.
We're back a slide. We got to go
Oh,
forward.
wait, no, go back.
No,
There we go. Stop right there.
Oh God, stop right there.
Wow.
Okay. So
Boy, she
not
loves
as famous, but
goats.
from
What a good egg.
Southern Connecticut State University, Sydney Smith. So she has massive talent, and just defies the assumption that people have about gymnasts that you cannot really be a great gymnast with that massive talent. So she fits perfectly on a kitchen counter, as you can see in that one picture, kind of in the top center there. She loves DILFs, that's definitely points for her. So, thank you for that.
But that's bestiality.
No, it's dads, not dogs.
It's not
dads.
It's not.
Dads,
Oh, I thought it was
Jesus
Dalmatians
Christ.
No, not down.
because it's black and white.
No, yeah, that's not.
Hmm.
Oh, God. Do we have a? You got to give yourself something for that.
Hold
Anything.
on.
Like
I got it. There you go.
there.
Thank you.
I suck.
I didn't say you did.
All right, so those are the ones that are going head to head this week, and now we can vote.
Oh my God. This is like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'll
All
go
right, Tom.
first. I'll go
Oh,
first.
Steven.
Go for it.
I am team Olivia Dunn all the way.
All right.
Tom?
I get what you're saying. I was kind of leading that way too until this youngster with loads of talent came up and just laid on our kitchen counter. Good God. Wait, hold on. Can we? Just one second. I mean, Wonder Woman. Jesus, good God in heaven. And then you. I'm I got to go Sydney Smith. God bless.
Wow. All right.
God bless. God
I'm
bless.
gonna follow up with Tom. Let's do that.
How
Sydney
dare
Smith.
you?
Wow.
How dare you
Yes!
both?
Yes.
I gotta say we're 4 weeks in now, and you know I've always set these up. So obviously they're all ones that I like, obviously, but my vote would have gone. I am 0 for 4 with the way my vote would have gone. That's okay. That's why we play the game.
Listen,
All right.
I'm Olivia Dunn. She's special. 100%.
Yeah.
But I just think Sydney Smith has huge talent. I don't think so, Steve.
Very massive talent.
Look at the weight of the massive talent. Like she can have back problems. Fine.
Interesting.
All right.
Well done.
So
Bless.
So yeah, again, not going to take too much time on my weekly WTF outside of that part. I just did want to point out that I've been struggling watching the Penguins this season. I am tempted to take another shot just talking about them, but I already went over during my Penguin segment. I went over how they just blow every lead, and so like the other sports I've been watching. I'm watching every team that I'm following is just blowing leads all over the place. So you got the Yankees I was watching, who should have won Game 1 of the World Series, did not. Should have won Game 5 of the World Series, did not. They should have been up 3-2 going back to Los Angeles. Not that they would have won or whatever. LA's a better team, but blowing leads in there. And then so I'm watching the Jets play football. I'm watching yesterday. They had a lead against the Colts with less than 3 minutes to go. Colts needed a touchdown. Anthony Richardson, a historically inaccurate passer, takes him straight down the field, beats Sauce Gardner on a 40-yard pass to start that drive to a white receiver. For the love of God. And Colts go on to win that game. Obviously, a few weeks ago, I already talked about them blowing the lead against the Patriots, who stink. And then even basketball, which I start watching for the first time in decades, and the Knicks have been good. But this season, they stink in the fourth quarter. They had a meltdown against the Pacers, a complete meltdown. They blew a chance to beat the Bulls at the end of the game last week also. And then they were playing the Nets a couple of nights ago, had a 21-point lead, and they blew the whole load. And they were down a point with 11 seconds to go. They dug themselves out of that one somehow. But it's unbelievable. Everybody that I even follow is just falling apart late in the game, and I'm kind of sick of it. And I don't know if it's a disease that they caught from the Penguins or what, but
Something in the water, probably.
Something in the water.
But there's good news.
There is no water. Wait a minute. There is no water. There's a drought.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe
the Giants didn't lose this
what
week.
it is.
That's the most important thing.
The Giants did not lose. You're absolutely right.
Yes, that's true.
Nick finished his bottle.
Oh,
He had to. He knows what segment's coming up next.
I'm ready.
Let's go to State and Steve's.
Oh, that feels better.
This one's going to bring us to the year of our Lord, 2018. Please go to May 4th. May 4th, 2018.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
May 4th was a Friday. Breakfast was a tasty cake and a Coke Zero 17-ounce. So if you go to Dollar General, they sell 17-ounce 6-packs for $5. It's a great bargain. I highly recommend it.
What a bargain for me.
Lunch was a chicken cutlet sandwich with cheese and bacon. Dinner was a burrito at Tequila and Tacos with chips and a Diet Coke. Tom, why?
Wait, so you had Mexican 2 nights in a row?
What are you talking about?
The next night is Cinco de Mayo. So on May 4th, you had a burrito. What did you have the next night?
Houlihan's soup and a wrap.
Houlihan's? You went to Houlihan's for Cinco de Mayo?
For Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah.
Wow, there's nobody there.
Irish, by the way.
Wait a second. I'm going to break down the fourth wall here. Tom, when you still lived in New Jersey.
Yep.
How many Cinco de Mayos would you say we spent together? Half a dozen?
Every one. Almost every one in my adult life.
And what would we do for Cinco de Mayo?
Oh my God, we would go to friggin' like Banditos or Jose Tejas or some ridiculous Mexican place that everybody else in New Jersey went to.
And what was the experience like? It was awful. So at some point we decided if we're not having it at home, we're not having it on Cinco de Mayo.
I like the idea the night before. I do. I like
Tom, why did you pick
Cinco de Mayo
Friday? May 4th in the year 2018.
Is that Pat Battle?
Warning, but can you imagine finding this when you head into the living room? A total stranger asleep on your couch.
I cannot. But that is what a couple in Rittman found after a middle of the night break-in, and the convicted felon was armed.
Only on News 5 tonight, Bob Jones talks with one of the victims, still creeped out by what happened.
It was just after 6 a.m. when a Rittman couple living at this apartment complex had to do a double take. A complete stranger in a deep sleep on their couch. Of course, that led to a 911 call.
911, where's your emergency? There's some random guy at my house. They're just sleeping on my couch. They won't wake up. They won't move. I don't know who they are.
Jacqueline Fortner took her dog outside first thing this morning and in the dark didn't notice the stranger on her couch. But when she came back inside, her boyfriend had made his way to the living room and he was yelling,
I am like terrified.
Turning an ordinary morning into a terrifying one.
My boyfriend yells at me, get upstairs, there's somebody in our house.
The man had crawled through a window, helped himself to a bunch of Easter candy, the crumbs still on the couch where he took his uninvited nap.
And we kept saying like, who are you? What are you doing? And no response.
Jacqueline's boyfriend yelled at the intruder to get out.
Get out of here. Let's go. Come on.
Kind of scary, especially thinking like what's out there. So he could have woke up angry and then like escalated the situation.
The stranger, identified as convicted felon Eric Branham. He has spent time in prison on forgery, drug, and burglary charges. And he is also on post-release control, meaning he's being supervised by the Adult Parole Authority.
I never thought anybody would just break into our house.
They're doing a shitty
Jacqueline
job.
says Barnum seemed confused, but finally left the apartment. Still, he
Why would
lingered
he
around
sleep
the
on that
complex
couch? There's barely
until
any
police
cushions.
arrested him and found these 2 knives on him, along with prescription pain pills.
I think he may have been using drugs within the last couple of days, may have even
No
last night,
shit.
late last night, too.
Still shaken by the restless morning, Jacqueline is planning to take extra measures to secure her windows.
You get
Hopes
window
the stranger
covers,
who
please,
made
instead of
himself
those
comfy
friggin' Venetian
goes back to
blinds.
prison.
I don't want him on the
Yeah,
streets.
that
Like
guy
I
looks
don't
like
want
he's,
him near
never
this
done drugs in his
neighborhood,
life.
especially like a lot of neighbors have kids. So imagine if he crawled in their window.
Barnum is charged with aggravated burglary, and police plan to add
Barnum?
weapons charges.
Aggravated?
Tonight, he'll
Barnum
be
Bailey?
sitting in the Wayne County Jail. He's due in court on Monday. In Rittman, Bob Jones,
Clown
News
court.
5.
2 people were
Way to be, Bob Jones. Well done.
What
That's what happened
state?
May 4th, 2018,
What state was that?
Ohio.
Yeah.
Fucking course it was Ohio.
Of course it was Ohio.
So that
It's
makes
not
almost
Florida, it's Ohio.
that chick's
Only
like
2
a
states.
9, dude. So
I just want to compliment the 911, the guy who called 911 for his usage of pronouns. He did not say him. He did not say he's asleep. It was they. So that was just a very good job by him on the pronoun usage.
So can we call ourselves like a news program? Can we get like 911 calls? How do you get access to 911 calls? Do we
They're
have to-
public. It's public record, I
They're
think.
public?
I think they're public record. I think you can ask people.
Really?
You'd need a specific call, I think, to get.
Hmm.
can I
I'm
just
gonna
call
look into that.
911 now and record it?
Yeah, please do that.
Can we go back to the?
I'm gonna look into that.
Do you still have the video?
No, I don't. I closed that window already. I can get-
Where were the fucking cushions on the couch? Like,
Oh
did
my
you
God.
see there
Well,
was just?
Yeah,
relax,
I don't
man.
think that they moved the cushions at all until the news reporter got there, so they can see exactly where he was sleeping and how he messed up the entire couch. But
And what the
Also,
hell are
saw-
candy crumbs?
Savagely eating
Yeah.
the candy. The candy shells all over the place, sir.
well, listen, that's why he should have ate candy corn. There's no crumbs. That's just right in, and you're done.
That's a Halloween candy.
I mean, I'm sure they're
This was
they're
Easter.
out at Easter, aren't they?
No, I don't think so.
Ah,
It's a-
crap.
That's
it
a
was.
fall. That's a fall candy.
Yeah, I agree. Damn it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up again.
Couple in Rittman found after a middle of the night
House.
Rob, love that guy's name. Rob
Helped
Powers.
himself to a bunch of Easter candy.
Yes,
The
crumbs
crumbs
everywhere.
still on the couch.
Also, that's
Right.
shitty. That shell candy is so shitty.
What kind of
Ohio.
shell candy leaves the shell behind?
It's the chocolate covered eggs.
Where he
Well, this-
took
this
his
is the couch.
uninvited nap.
And we kept saying like, who are you? What are you doing? And no response.
Jacqueline's boyfriend yelled at the intruder.
Wait, Bill, you're saying in Ohio that is a 10.
No, I said a 9. I said a 9.
9. You're right.
That's definitely Ohio
That's
9.
an Ohio 9. Yee!
Wow.
Wait, they're sleeping. They will
No,
wake up.
no. Go to her on the
I-
couch.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. I just keep seeing Bob Jones. It's maybe right after.
Keep
the
going.
puppy. Look at the
Keep
puppy.
going.
Look at that puppy. Look at that
Aw,
puppy.
dog.
Right
There-
here.
look. Why would you sleep
Right,
on a
this one you
couch like that?
Well, I think he got up really quick and was hustling and bustling to try and get out.
Fix the fucking cushions before the news comes over, bitch.
All right,
Evidence.
this is what he had on him. He had a knife, and you know what this is used for? This top one?
Scratching your balls?
No, I have this tool, and I use this is a tool to take the grips off of your golf club.
Oh God.
I'm sure it has other uses, but that's what I primarily use it for. And it
Maybe
works well.
maybe he
He
was
went
regripping some clubs before it showed up.
Sadly, I do not think that's why he was there.
They is a golfer?
Jesus Christ. All right. We've been on for 1 hour and 15. So it's time to say goodnight to all of our family. All right. No, I didn't want to do that.
What are you doing?
I didn't want. I'm trigger
So
happy.
you
Look, I'm
get
home.
Nothing. You
I'm
lose.
home for the first time in
Good
weeks.
day, sir.
It's amazing to do it from my studio.
Shut up!
So,
Shut up! Shut up!
great. Bill, go ahead and say something witty.
Oh, just like that? You're just going right to that? Okay. So
That's
in the
what I
story,
really
they
want to
kind of buried the lead in the story. There was Easter, and I just want to say, day has risen.
There you go.
My friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers.
What's the Flyers?
fuck